Good morning guys, I'm Chris the Ultimate Recycler. This is my emergency storage shed which we've been cleaning out over almost 4 years. Something out of here every week. We've still got a lot to go. Lately we've been finding some really interesting clocks and we've got another one today and I'm not sure what else is in the box. Let's go and have a look. Interesting and actually quite valuable, and my big challenge is deciding what I should sell and what I can't bear to sell at the moment. This clock in this red box may be another of the ones that I can't bear to sell, but I can't keep everything. So this shelf, we've been making good progress here. We've opened up some more concrete next to the wall, and we're going to have some pretty cool stuff on this shelf as well. Some of this stuff I have no idea in what's in the boxes, and some I've probably never seen before in my life because I've been cleaning out other people's sheds for over 20 years and stashing it aside. Here we go. We have a commercial style flip clock with date and everything. I'm not sure where it's from. I'm hoping we can power it up and see if it works. It may find a spot in my house, in my shed, in our studio. Don't know. It's just way too cool to disregard without having a good look at it. If I sell it, I don't know. We'll have to work out what sort of price to put on it, but we'll decide that when we get to the workbench. I think there's another, there might even be 2 more clocks in this box. I think there is. Old school clocks maybe? And I'm not sure what's in this old shredder box. I don't know if we'll get to it today or not. Oh, I can see money. Looks like old pennies. Who knows what else is in there? Let's get these clocks through to the bench first and make some decisions on those. Every box in this storage shed has been a voyage of discovery. Everything from fine delicate china to books to engine parts to you name it. It's real mystery. And I often say with our shop, which we've been dealing for, as I said before, well over 20 years, that we specialise in not specialising. Because we don't go to auctions and cherry pick what we want in our shop, we just empty house lots, sheds, deceased estates. It's been a fun journey. It is kind of coming to an end, as those of you who are following the channel know that our property where our shop is for sale and will probably be forced into retirement. But that may mean I've got more time to go treasure hunting, to do some restorations. I think the channel will have lots of content ahead and interesting for you guys, I hope. We do have 3 clocks. They're quite vintage. I'm keen to see if they all work. I'm not going to make any decisions just yet on if I keep them or not. I'm not good at those decisions. Well, I think the decisions are actually probably pretty easy when I sort of go through it in my head. We need to get rid of the bulk, low-value stuff while we have a shop. This more vintage, easy to sell and more valuable stuff we can sell online through eBay or Facebook Marketplace, or maybe even at a garage sale or market. So with that in mind, I'll probably keep some of these better items. This one's a Smith's Cetric. It looks very 50s. It looks like a hubcap. So I think this is 50s or 60s. It's a mains powered clock. Smith's Clocks and Watches Limited, made in England. Oh, I think the case is a bit damaged. Not sure, it's been wired up there somehow. But just that plastic backing. The rest of it's very much like a hubcap. And I'm going to put some power on that in this video and see if it works. It's pretty cool. The numbers are actually painted, I think, on the inside of the glass. So that's kind of interesting. Yep, so probably out of a school, that one. The next one is a bit similar. It's a Simplex. This looks a little bit later, perhaps 60s, early 70s. Again, probably out of a school. Aluminium body. The other one, I think, was a steel one. Large case here, or covering, looks okay. It's mains again, but it has a weird plug. But it does say 250 volts there. Simplex International Time Equipment, manufactured by, 220 to 250 volts. Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Canberra, Newcastle, Wollongong, Adelaide and Perth. So an Australian company, Australian-made clock, this one. Pretty nice. I like that. So again, we'll power that one up and see if we can get some life out of it. Now this other one is pretty cool, and it's quite heavy. So it's a large flip clock, Jadco time quartz movement. I think this company still make these sort of clocks. I did a quick browse online when I was having my coffee earlier, knowing that this was coming up. I found some very similar ones, brand new, made by Jadco. So, and they were $400 to $500. So this one's, I don't know how old it is. It looks like it's mains powered again. And again, it's got a weird little plug here. Perhaps that was a special clock plug for schools or public buildings. Not sure what's in here. Maybe a battery so that the thing would keep time if the power went out. Oh, it's just an on-off. No, there's no battery. Okay. Distributed in Australia by Jadco. Importers Melbourne. So I'm not sure where they were made. Oh, 1990. Oh, it's got an example of setting the times. I'm guessing because the examples here are 1989 through to 1996, I guess it dates to around about that era. It's certainly not any earlier than the 70s. It's got Phillips head screws on the mounting bracket. I'd say it's probably late 1980s, early 1990s, and it looks pretty similar to the ones you can buy brand new. Acrylic front on it, a little bit scuffed, but not too bad. So again, we'll have to rig up something and see if we can power this one up and see if it works. So let's start with this Smith Centric clock. I've just brushed it down a bit to get all the dust off it. And I'm not sure what the go with this wire is. Also, it's got these spring clips, which are a bit similar to how they used to hold headlights in their surround, in their bezel on cars. I think it needs more than two, because the glass was a little bit crooked. I've kind of straightened it up a little bit. It seems okay at the moment, but two's probably not really enough. Now, there's a screw in the middle here that looks like it's going through a square nut, and I think that holds it all on. So we'll undo this. Now I notice it says self-starting movement in here. So let's hope it does work and it does start up. Now, is that all we need to take off? That's a hand adjust thing. I think that's got to probably lever off. Yeah, I think that's going to help. There we go, just on a little square. And these other ones come off. No. All right, so there we go. Interestingly, that's the exact 240 volt clock movement that our Champion's clock takes. So, maybe I might hang on to this clock then for when I finally get around to restoring the Champion spark plug clock, which I featured in a recent episode. And you'll notice that it's up on the wall of my shed. You probably saw it on the when I was bringing boxes in. I'm sure that's an identical movement. And this one doesn't look too bad. The one end of the Champion's clock is very rusty. But this one looks like it's in much better condition. That's our main wheel for turning the hands. Is that moving the hands? Yes, it is. Okay, so it doesn't move that outer one. It moves the centre shaft. Anyway, that can come off for now. We want to see if this movement actually works. And then we'll decide. I don't think we'll sell it until I know I'm definitely not going to need this, because if I do need it, this clock, I'm guessing it's probably going to be worth maybe about $80 in going condition, maybe $100 tops, whereas our spark plug clock is going to be worth a lot more. And if we need the movement, I think we'll borrow this one, or it'll be a parts donor, as they call them. Let's see if it works. So next, so I have the mains just connected through a connector block here. I've got it through my appliance tester. We don't have an earth, it's just active and neutral, straight to the motor. Polarity doesn't matter. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Okay, we have nothing happening. I thought it was self-starting. I better get a meter first to make sure we've got power there. Okay, we should have 230 odd volts through here. We do. So we have power to it. Possibly the motor's burned out. The gearing might be just all bound up and it's not enough to drive it, but I'm seeing no signs of life. Not seeing any or hearing any noises either. Let's turn the power off. Make sure there's no power here. And let's see if we have any continuity through here to indicate that the motor windings might be okay. No, I've got nothing. Open circuit. Does that mean our motor has burnt out? I think it has. We've got no continuity at all through the motor windings from these two wires, which would indicate to me that there's a problem with the windings. That's a shame. I guess we could still use this as a parts donor for the Champion spark plug clock, given that that one may have a good motor and the gearing on this one might be better. We can swap them around, make one out of the two, but it looks like in this case this one's not going to work. That's a shame. For those that didn't see the Champion clock, here it is, and I thought while I've got the meter out, we can have a look at this movement and see if the motor has any continuity here. It certainly looks like the same drive movement, and one of these wires was off, and someone suggested this plastic thing isn't off the clock, and I agree. It looks like almost looks like a takeaway food container. But hopefully we've got, where's our meter? Hopefully we have a good motor here. Let's see if we have any continuity. We do. Okay, 5K seems a lot, but I suspect that these are very dirty solder connections. At least we have better than an open circuit. So this motor probably will work. It does spin, but it's very tight. So, all right, later on down the track we may well be able to make one clock movement out of two. It's interesting to test this one. Unfortunately, that school clock one has burnt out. Now this Simplex one next, and we have a plug on this one. Oh, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 wire clips to hold it together, so that's much more stable. The plastic cover here is held on by little circlips. And yeah, how are we going to power this up? I could take the plug apart and hook some wires into there via connector. Let's take the cover off because we're going to do that anyway. And we might be able to wire the cord straight into the back of the movement. All right, we'll get these clips out and hopefully not have them fly across the workshop, in which they would be lost forever, I dare say, or at least a long, long time. These are known affectionately as Jesus clips, because when one lets go and you're not ready, you say, Jesus, where did that go? Okay, let's take that off and slide it down the wire. It's a very thick cord. I don't know why it needs to be so thick. I think I saw it only draws 3 watts. Right, very neat in here, and we have a connector block in here so I can wire the cord straight into that. A much nicer looking unit, much better condition. How does that cover come off? We have a couple of nuts. Do we even need to take the cover off? Probably not. I mean, I guess we should get in and lube the movement if it does work. Let's just, I'll use another screwdriver. Let's just pull the wires out of here and put our new cord in. This one has got an earth too, but it's very heavy duty wire. It's hardly that necessary. Let's connect our wire up. Okay, and we can turn it on. All right, I can't actually hear anything. Maybe these movements are just very silent. Or maybe this one's not going. Oh, it is going. Oh, I can hear it humming now when it's up this direction. But our second hand is working nicely. It gives you that steady motion rather than the tick, tick, tick. And yes, you probably hear it humming through the microphone. But that's excellent. Works perfectly. I don't think I'll bother taking the cover off. It's quiet when it's in this orientation. Maybe we should take the cover off and just give it a little bit of clock oil on all the pivots that we can reach. All right, well, I undo these nuts. I'm thinking we might have to take the face off because the other side of these nuts is, yeah, they're a bit tight to get on the pliers. I reckon we'll take the clock further apart. We'll take these, because we can give it a good clean then. So we'll take these spring clips out. And this whole lot should just, we have to take the adjust thingo off too. It's only got a split pin through there, that'll be easy enough. Okay, that should pull off the bottom. Now the whole thing should come out of the assembly. We can clean the glass now and get all the dust out of the bottom of the case. The face is actually pretty good. But how do we get to the, oh, okay. The screws are underneath the face. So the face is like it's not paper. It's just like a plastic. I don't want to get it dirty. And to access the screws, we really need to take the hands off. It's more trouble than I wanted to go through. Let's see how easy these hands come off. Oh, they're pretty tight. The second hand is at least. No, I'm not going to play with that. I think I risk scratching it and getting it all dirty. I think we're going to put it back together because it is working. It's not like it needs a restoration. I'll just clean the glass up while I've got this apart and we'll reassemble it. And I probably should put another cord on it. I don't think this cord's original anyway. It's so heavy and we don't really need that plug on the end. We might leave it with it in case it's a special clock plug. But I'm going to put a normal cord on it and then it can be used. Okay, I've left the test cord on it and I'm going to leave it running in my workshop for a day or so just to make sure it's working fine. It's keeping brilliant time at this stage. Silent operation, the ominous sweep of the second hand. Who can remember sitting in the classroom at school just willing that second hand to go faster so you could get out for your lunch break or whatever, or go home. Clocks seemed to drag when I was at school, but I guess they told the right time. But that's running beautifully. So a nice piece. It cleaned up very well. Got a bit of reflection going on there. And I'm tempted to put it up where the champion clock is, so at least I'll know what time it is, because that one, actually, how's that for a fluke? It's actually saying pretty much the right time. I did fiddle with it earlier just because someone suggested I should change the hands every now and again just to keep you observant lot, something to look at in the background, but that's a fluke. I didn't plan that. All right, that's running great. I reckon that's a $100 clock. It's a nice vintage, I think early 70s, Australian-made school clock. What a beauty. Okay, given that this one isn't so old, I'm expecting it to work. Hopefully it does, unless it was removed from service because it has a fault or something. I'm going to have to find a different test lead because my other one's in use at the moment. That shouldn't be a problem. We'll put the towel on the bench so we don't scratch up the acrylic anymore. And we'll see how we go wiring it in. We'll have a look in the back to see what makes these things tick, literally. Oh, well, this one probably doesn't tick. It'll flick, or the noise that those things make when they flip over. Okay, hopefully it's not too complicated to get into. Oh yeah, that's going to come off. And the top screws have the hanging brackets. All right. Now we have the adjusting things here. How do they come out? Or do they slide through? Oh, they slide through. And the cord's a bit short. I think we might have to push the cord through a bit to give us some room. All right, that's got that out of the road. Whoa, there we go. All our little flip things. Which way does it go? That's the right way there. So there's little motors that drive these things to allow them to flip over at the right times. And Everything looks, so is it supposed to be attached? I think it is. I think that thing's broken. Don't know that that really is going to affect it. Some sort of little power supply there, because I guess these motors are only low voltage DC motors. So I'm hoping it goes, unless there's a problem in the power supply. I think we should be right to plug it in and see what happens. Well, we have to put another cord in it. And we have these crimp-on connectors here. I'm not going to break into that. I think we'll take the plug apart and see if we can hook up some wiring. I'm sure we'll be able to do that from the back of this. Okay, oh, that's pretty simple. All right, I'm actually going to take the wiring off here, and then we can use our connector block. They are marked active and neutral, so we can't get that wrong when we reassemble it. With the power cable connected, we can now plug it in. So I'll stand it back up, because they probably can't work lying down. They'd need to be vertical for the numbers to flip over properly. Plastic casing, so I've got no issues with holding it. Let's power it up. And, oh, it's already on. Why is nothing happening? Oh. We have some backup batteries here that are badly corroded. That's not good. I can hear a very faint humming, but I don't know if anything's actually operating. There's a little board down there. It might have some electronic problems. I don't know, but we've certainly got to sort out these batteries. Oh, did something just flick? Let's turn it round. Enough to see the front. And if it'll balance there, we'll just leave it running and see if the time progresses. It might be working. So I've skipped forward and it's been sitting here for a couple of minutes and it's definitely not working. This is probably going to be a project for me. I think it's worth, I won't touch the back frame, let's turn it off. I think it's worth fixing up. I think if this was in complete operational condition, I think we'd probably get a couple of $100 for it, given that they're $400 to $500 new. And what I'm going to do, oh, hang on, what have we got in here? There's part of our battery. Oh, it's broken, is it? The plastic's broken. So the battery corrosion is an issue, and I'm sure that would be to provide the time to continue if there was a power outage. I'm going to take those batteries out of there because they're just going to cause more corrosion. Doesn't look like it's rusted or affected anything else. I don't know if that's the reason why it's not going. It might have a fault in the power supply. There's some motor controller board somewhere. First thing I would do is probably check the power supply over this side and make sure it's outputting whatever low DC voltage it requires, which then goes to this switch. We could probably check that. However, I'm not going to get into a repair video on this in this video. We'll do this down the track. I think it'll be a fun item to get sorted out, and I may even keep it, but it's certainly worth doing. I'm going to remove those batteries now so they don't cause any more damage. I'm guessing they'll be rechargeable batteries, and they're well and truly had it. Yeah, it's broken the casing. 1.2 volts, nickel cadmium. So they're rechargeable. I should be able to find some new batteries for that, but we have to have a replacement battery holder to sort that out. But I don't think that's the reason why it's not working. It's going to have other problems. This will be a project down the track. So I've put the clock back together. I've left the plug parts in that bag there, so I didn't bother about rewiring the plug onto that. I've got the batteries here. I'm going to hang on to them just so I make sure I get the right ones. But they're sealed in a separate bag. I've got the bracket and the insulating material and the screw that held that on in a separate bag. So all the parts are there. It will be a good one to fix up down the track. I think it's got more problems though than just the batteries, but I'm keen to have a go at that. one day in the future. So I'll put that back in storage. No value back on this one, and no return back on this one either at this stage. We could well get some valuable parts out of that, but that one we cannot sell as a goer unless we got another movement for it, but I need the movement for the Champion spark plug one. So we'll leave that float as a parts donor for now. I guess you could put a standard normal little quartz movement in the back. It'd be easy enough to do. It'll look pretty cool, but I like to keep things original if I can. And these movements must be around in quite a lot of mid-century mains powered clocks. I reckon most of them would be the same or very similar, interchangeable at least. So nothing on those two for now. And if we pan the camera up a little bit, we can see the other one up there next to the Champion clock is still running fine. It's a bit over an hour since I last filmed that. I went and had a cuppa and I finished the inspection of the flip clock. So there we go. We have one goer, two non-goers. I think I'll sell that one. I think I'll put about $100 on it. I might leave my test cord on it. Hello, Coco. Welcome to the shed. I might leave the test cord on it so that I can have it running at the shop, but all the other parts are there and I'll fix that up when I sell it. So there we go. So we'll wind this video up now. We didn't get to that other box with the coins in it, and goodness knows what else. We'll do that next week. We've got $100 return here potentially. That will take our total to $32,800 thereabouts. So the prices, the value is really still getting up there. Plus we've got all these projects that are of value as well, but I'm not counting those in the tally because it's just too hard to, I can't value something and then leave it in my shed for potentially years. That just wouldn't be right. Everything else we have valued is being sold. Most of it has been, and given that our shop's going to finish up, it'll have to be sold because I don't want to bring it home again. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.